Hey there, marshmallows. Our episode this week kicks off with Troy, Logan and Luke coming back from a trip from Mexico when Troy's car is stolen. Luke is acting suspiciously antsy due to the piñata of contraband that he'd stuffed into the boot. Veronica shows up to give them a ride, quoting a very dated movie.
Dude, where's your car?
Dude, where's my car? Where's your car, dude?
Their jokes and banter aside, Troy drops the bomb of what will happen to him when his dad finds out.
How do you feel about dating a guy who's being sent to Catholic school in Albuquerque?
Veronica agrees to track down his car before his dad finds out about their little road trip. I appreciate the Scooby-Doo reference between Veronica and Wallace.
All right then, Velma. Why don't you see what you can find on, say, me?
It's Daphne, thank you very much.
More so that Veronica sees herself as Daphne over Velma, despite the parallels in their intellect. The plot thickens when Veronica catches her dad out dating the school counsellor.
So you and Miss James, huh? I wouldn't have pegged that one.
Keith, for his part, is boxing up her mum's stuff to put away. It's actually a healthy step for him to be dating again, and the clearing of the items is a way that he can move on. Of course, for Veronica, moving on from your mother isn't so easy, despite her calm demeanour. Luke comes to find Veronica as he needs to get help to get the steroids back from the car. Go into her mum's safety deposit box. She finds a file with pictures threatening her, and with it, the notion that her mum may not have just abandoned her. Rebecca comes to meet with Keith at the office, and there's an awkward exchange.
And are you starting to see the catch-22 inherent in the plan?
As a matter of fact, I am.
There is great visual storytelling here, with them in the foreground, with Veronica staring up at them from a lower position. This is foreshadowing for what will be a doomed relationship. Veronica grills Troy on what they got up to in Tijuana to help track down the car.
From 8 to 9, we brainstormed on how to overthrow Kim Jong-il. From 9 to 10, we deleted the records of the black voters of Florida. And after that, it was all donkey shows.
Veronica works her charm to try and get the beacon activated, but is scuppered by the local Jobsworth.
We never activate beacon unless the car is reported stolen.
Scenes like this are important and often missing in modern movies and TV. Veronica failing shows that despite her skills, she's not perfect and things can go wrong. It helps to ground the drama and add an element of realism. Meanwhile...
Parkour! 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 Parkour!
Parkour.
You better run, you punk bitch!
Veronica confronts Logan about the steroids.
Wow, you suck at this Nancy Drew stuff. You should get a new hobby.
As always, Logan plays a little defensive in their verbal sparring. And even in this early stage, you can tell there's a little heat between them. It might only be lukewarm, but it's there. Veronica comes home to find the counsellor, and their interaction is a little bit frosty.
So, how was your day?
Fine, how was yours?
I feel for Rebecca. It's tough to come into a family dynamic, and she's trying. Maybe a little too hard, but she is. This causes one of Veronica's infamous flashbacks. This time of when she told her mum that she was dating Duncan Kane. At the time, the look on her mother's face probably would have gone over her head, but for us viewing, the plot thickens. Veronica enlists the help of Weevil to try and find the car, while showing off her grasp of Spanish.
So the car
Was chopped. Your uncle won't say for who, but the papers are in order, blah, blah, blah.
After finding the piñata full of sweets, Veronica pulls Luke into her office.
You're out of options. If you want Ziggy off your back, you're gonna have to buy him off.
What, do you think I've got $8,000 stashed away in my other wallet?
Figure it out!
Finally out of options on the car, Veronica goes to the one person who may be smarter than she is.
And I need you to do some of that voodoo that you do so well.
Keith manages to do what Veronica could not.
You look like a smart lady. Do yourself a favor and turn the system on now.
Veronica is frustrated by Troy's calm behaviour. Their answers to the questions says a lot about their worldview. They say opposites attract, but I'm more interested in how Veronica sees it.
Let's just say that you've been told you have 72 hours to live. You can take your medical text looking for a miracle cure. Or you can make those 72 hours the best 3 days of your life.
Well, I choose a miracle cure.
This dogged need to keep fighting is what makes her so good at what she does, but it's very telling of her emotional state. Suffering so much loss at an early age and having a stubborn father is a potent mix. This is exemplified in the next scene.
How do you respond to the rumors that your boyfriend hooked up with strippers in Tijuana last weekend?
When it comes to the fight-flight response...
Have you decided which parent you're going to live with after the divorce? And if I may, a follow-up. Can you believe your father's choice in mistresses?
Something us guys often fail to realise is that for many women, this is the sparring match. Less physical, sure, but no less treacherous than getting in the ring.
You look ready for a fight.
Veronica decides to do a background check on the counselor and show it to her dad.
I was trying to protect you.
Protect me. I'm an adult, Veronica.
There is something broken inside Veronica, for all she does to hide it. Their argument brings to the fore some things that until now have gone unsaid.
Mom is still out there somewhere.
You didn't care until I started dating.
You can find anybody.
Well, maybe I don't care to find her. Have you ever considered that?
The next morning, Keith presents a file to Veronica on Troy. This on the surface seems pretty tit for tat, but it's a lesson on the folly of what she did. Keith then meets Rebecca to break up with her, who takes it pretty well.
Can you just tell me it's another reason, like a crappy one?
Your being a good father isn't really something I can bitch about to my girlfriends over margaritas.
Veronica confronts Troy on his history, and he gives as good as he gets.
I'm just glad we weren't dating when you were kicked out of those 2 schools for drug possession and trafficking. My lips would have fallen off.
Maybe after I'd known you for more than a month, tell you my deep, dark secrets. Or is that too much of a character flaw?
She then goes to see Ziggy to settle Luke's account, and takes backup. Ziggy takes the money, but obviously acts like an arsehole.
Remember this moment, because you're gonna regret it.
Troy's dad makes good on his promise, and Veronica spends some time with her dad for his birthday.
I should be able to do whatever I want because it's my birthday. I just want to have a piece of cake with my daughter. That's all I want.
Finally, we see that Troy is in fact the one that took the steroids, and still in contact with Shauna, proving that he was scum all along. Meanwhile, Ziggy is picked up by Border Patrol, thanks to an anonymous tip. The episode ends with her mother leaving a message for her. We already know that Veronica is smart and resourceful. What the episode helps to do is highlight that this is a process, and things don't just come easily. We get a little more insight into her worldview this episode.
Love is an investment. Information is insurance.
She's become so guarded that she won't allow herself to become vulnerable without a background check. What's the saying? Occupational hazard? Her argument with her father reminds us that she is still a teen and not quite an adult. Although smart enough to dig up dirt on people, she still lacks the maturity to understand if it's her place and if she should.
We're so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
Preoccupied with finding her mum and what drove them apart, she didn't stop to think about the emotional effects that this would have on Keith. The difference is that although we don't like to admit it, unlike your love for your parents, spousal love is replaceable. Troy is the red herring, proving Veronica to be right, reinforcing the idea of keeping the walls up. However, the voicemail at the end of the episode is proof that you shouldn't. I'm always a big advocate for Keith Mars as Father of the Year, and it's episodes like this as to why. Keith puts his own needs ahead of Veronica's. Their argument reminds us that his wife leaving him took a toll on the man, but his love for his daughter drives him to continue paying that toll, sacrificing personal happiness. This, along with the file that he left for Veronica, are life lessons. That not everyone are who they pretend to be, and that your family will always love you and look out for you. What the episode does so well is the same as what the series does, which is to remind us that life is shades of grey.